What's good, fam? We back in this thing, baby. Man, it's weekend, man. Outside of missing the family and wanting to hang with the family, been chilling, baby. Birthday weekend. Yeah. Got up in Georgia. We dropped off. If you ain't seen it, family, you just not tuning in. We dropped off in Georgia on Friday. Stayed the night down in Thompson, Georgia, and then we shot on up here to the pickup because we got a pickup tomorrow. 2 of them actually. But yeah, been up here chilling in the hotel, relaxing, kicking my feet up. Now I have been doing some work, and then doing that work, and I'm looking at this paperwork, and it just came across my mind. I'm like, I'm having fun doing this paperwork because they say when it's yours and you doing what you love, you enjoy it a little bit more. So I was like, man, I'm having fun, but I wonder with somebody else, with the fam, would y'all really like to do this paperwork? Would y'all really like to do this driving? And then I'm like, I keep hearing everybody talk about the rates. We understand tariffs and all that stuff. And I'm like, is it worth it? It's a cargo van business. But before I get in that, man, because I see y'all chiming in on your boy. What's good, WPR in Jersey? What's going on? Got in here early. What else we got in here? Jared, what's going on, baby? What's going on? Luxury Trail back up in this thing. Let's go. The quicks do not miss it. Ooh, I see y'all updated that name. I like the cargo van couple. I'm gonna let y'all see it. The quicks put that the cargo van on that. They say a family that prays together stays together, but apparently also a family that grinds together stays together. I love it, man. As far as my birthday, hey, minus being away from the fam, it was good. It was about as good as it get. All I did was eat, sit around, relax, chill, did a little paperwork and worked on a couple other things. But hey, that's neither here nor there. I'm having more fun right now. This is my birthday present, hanging out, fam. Ooh, look at this. I gotta show the love. Leonard just got the LLC, the DOT, and them. So we talked about this before. You winning when you don't think you're winning. And you is out here winning, Leonard. I ain't mad at you. What's going on, Aaron? What's up, everybody? Hey, I gotta shout out my boy though, Aaron. That fofo through the toe, baby. What y'all see? I be telling y'all about Houston, but I never really told y'all where I was from. What's going on, Aaron, man? Out that fofo through the door. Sean Allen talking about what's up, money. I'm just trying to get it like you. They say if I get the money like you, I'll be like you when I grew up. And I'm trying to be like you when I grew up, son. But yeah, man. It was amazing, man. Had a good weekend. But like I said, I was sitting there because we had the 101s today. And had some great information we talked about. But I won't even digest and all that. It was basically came down to something that I was asked in the comments that kind of led to some of the ones today. Somebody asked me, because we talk about it all the time about the COL and the CPM. Asked me, since you have COL, cost of living, if you knew, fam, would you still do this if you had to worry about the COL? And I thought about it. It didn't take me but a split second because the answer was yes. And there's a reason why. I'm going to put it to you like this. And when I say this, don't just think transportation. Like I know we're talking about cargo van, the transportation side of the house. Think of it on business. Think of it on art, whatever that thing may be. When you're doing something, y'all know me, I'm big. I'll talk about purpose all the time. That's my thing. Identifying your purpose, learning your purpose. When you're doing anything that's aligned with your purpose, you would do it regardless. So for me, because my purpose is not the cargo van, if that makes sense. My purpose is helping people. Like I know my purpose in life is to help people. And cargo van, we get freight, we get stuff to people, which also kind of helps them. But the avenue of being able to talk to y'all, this is part of my purpose. So it lines up for me greatly. So yes, I will still do it because I get to share knowledge I got and help other people. Now, the reason I say that, because think about it on the business perspective. People help people with their purpose. Like say, for example, you're a chef and you love to cook and you happen to open a restaurant. You're sharing your gift and what you have, your purpose in life with others. Say you might be a musician, whether it be playing an instrument, singing, rapping, whatever. You're sharing your gift and purpose, and it's tapping in and helping somebody else live their life. So for me, is the cargo van business worth it? Yes. Now I'm finna dive into it a little deeper because I want to ask you the question if it's going to you, but we're going to talk business wise and see if it aligns with your purpose type of way. But give me a second because y'all still rolling in, hollering at your boy. And I can't let y'all not just shout at me and I don't help back. J Harv talking about help get me to Abilene. Fam, if I had a magical little one, I would straight get you there. Let's see. Oh, what's going on? Farmer Fendor had a little setback with the transmission. I'll be ready to hit fam. Don't worry about it. Things happen. We prepare for this. We talk about this in many videos. So you're going to be out there in no time. But hey, let us know if it's something crazy so we can learn what happened with your van. If it's something that's outside of the usual, tell us about it too. Let's see. What's good, True? Yeah, True. Talking about thanks for the follow on IG. I got you, fam. I got you. Let's see. Luxury. Yeah. We're going to get into questions before we even get to those ones. Let's mix it all together then. Luxury Trail said, what do you think is a good rate nowadays for higher miles cargo van? The more miles, the cheaper the rates and expected to be. The more miles, the cheaper the rates are expected to be. I don't even like talking higher miles because I feel lowball. So I understand what everybody's saying about the rates. I've seen them. I have seen them. I'm out there with you. So I've seen those rates. I've seen the rates, but it's for me, from what I've seen so far, I believe it's going to keep happening. It's nothing new, nothing under the sun. The rates are down compared to previous years. Not by much, but it's by enough to put a dent in some people, especially the bigger boys, like the box trucks, the 18-wheelers, all them kind of people. For us, they're down, but they're not really down because you got to think we're in cargo vans. Like, compared to everybody else, they would look at us and tell us the rates are on the floor because they'd be like, you going to drive for $1? Yeah, well, for us, that's how the numbers work. And if we take some for 90, 95 cents, yeah. The low ball rates that you see, those 40 and 50 cents, yeah, I wouldn't take them. But for the most part, they're down. And that's what I was going. Matter of fact, we might as well dive into it because that's part of it today. Is cargo van business worth it? One of the shifts I'm seeing in those same said rates, of course, they vary from state to state. Remember, we talked about that in previous videos about how some of the brokers and all that calculate their spot market rates versus their contract rates. But I'm starting to see not just the partial game, but especially with everything that's going on in the world, those one pallets, those two pallets, those are getting pushed a lot more. Now, granted, box trucks and 18-wheelers, they can parcel together all them pallets if they're going in the same direction and get what they need. For us, we still are able to get those one pallet, two pallet here and there and get the rate we need. That's why I said, don't just take low ball rates. You're able to get the rates you need. Now, what Luxury Trail was referring to, that's what I was telling you about before with the Los Angeles and the Los Angeles, California, and Florida. Some of those places, when they got to go 2,000, 3,000 miles, they don't want to pay. They want to give you 30 cents on the mile, 25 cents on the mile, because they just hope they can throw it on the back of a big rig, a flatbed, a box truck, and just get their cargo to float for free because they already got a load and be like, hey, we'll throw extra $300-400 on there. That doesn't work for us. So is it a cargo van worth it? So the research that I recently done, granted, remember, I'm out of Houston. The research that I've done, I was able to drive like a 12-mile radius of where I would go, which covers a lot of ground. It just meant that I don't need to go back to California no time soon because of everything that's going on, the rates and everything. So it'll get me from Houston to, let's say, Phoenix. And then you make that circle. Obviously, I can run all the way up to Michigan and Ohio, 12 to 1,300 miles. Obviously, all the way to Jacksonville is like 900, Georgia, 800. So, you know what I'm saying? So I still get that radius, 1,300 to get to like the DMV area. So that little radius right there for me keeps me in the numbers that I need. And when the reason I say the numbers I need, so obviously if I take a load, say going 1,200 miles, for me in that cargo van, it's going to take 3 to 4 fill-ups. So $200 or less worth of gas. So if something goes wrong and I'm out there and you know your boy, I'll deadhead back out that thing in the middle, whether it be to another location or if it's the weekend, I'm a deadhead home. I got paid $1,200 because I'm gonna get the dollar, and I might lose the $200 going back. So all in all, it still works out. If that's only if I'm in the bind, I don't make it a habit of that. But when you think about the whole topic of this game, is the cargo business worth it? You got to keep that in mind for the simple fact it only makes sense to be worth it if it aligns with what your goals are. If your goal is to just work for yourself, we talked about that before, or to make it a business where you get multiple vans. But then when you do that, you got to start thinking that's other people that have to drive said vans, that you got to make sure they have a living. Remember, I told you my whole path work, we have kids. So technically, if my kids are driving a van, me and my wife have space, they can live with us, or we just get them a place on the land. They don't have to do nothing extravagant. They're not married. They don't have kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have to do the extravagant stuff. So it still works for me if in my family, if we say we want to expand to more vans. So that's one reason. We're going to tap into more reasons, but we're going to do it as we answer the question, because y'all coming in hollering at your boy. Let's see. Pretty Flacco. Do you charge an extra fee for direct delivery? What do you mean direct delivery? Like a house, or like, I know if it's expedited, that means they want it to go straight there. And normally I get the rate for expedited rate. And I've done that a few times. That's those lows like you seen I got for like $1.60, $1.80, like those, if that's what you mean. If I'm understanding you correctly, those $1.60, $1.80 lows, those expedited rates, because they looked for a cargo van, Sprinter van, to get it straight there. Those other rates when we're like at the $1.90 some 95 cents or so, those are the ones like we were able to get that were probably going on a box truck or 18-wheeler, and we were able to talk them into giving it to us, and we'll get it there a little faster. So I think that's what I think that's what you meant. Let me know. What's good, Edgar in the building? Got Sammy up out of North Carolina. What's going on, fam? I tried to tell y'all, Jay Hard talking about Texas is big. Left Dallas an hour ago, but El Paso still 545 miles to go. I tried to tell y'all. Y'all thought I was playing. When I picked up the load, it's been a couple of loads, and I told you, like, you're going to spend the day driving in Texas. If you leave out of Houston, San Antonio, anywhere, you're going to spend the day driving. I'll tell you like this. Driving from California to New Mexico. So California, then you got Phoenix, then you got New Mexico off in there. Driving from California all the way across to New Mexico and all that stuff is about the same amount of time as driving from El Paso down to Houston. And you still got Texas left if you're going to Louisiana. Texas is, you just spend your day. That's why I told y'all, like, I can literally stay in Texas and not go anywhere. But hey, what good would that do? We wouldn't learn nothing together. But that's one of them things. Is it worth it? If you got to do this long driving, let's talk about it. Is it worth it in cargo van business if you stay local, regional, or OTR? And that, again, depends on what you want to do. So let's start with it this way. If you say local, remember, I told you about Florida. We had a fan today. I haven't checked all the names, see if he's in here today, but he's out of Miami. For him to stay local, it's not beneficial to him. Because getting stuff coming out of Miami, no, you most likely got a deadhead up out of there. And deadheading out of Miami, just say 300 and something miles just to get to Jacksonville. So your first point of even getting consideration for loads is Tampa and Orlando. So you have to factor that in. Where do you live at determines if it's going to be worth it for you. Because if you're just trying to stay local, say you live in Nebraska, local for you, maybe you might get over to Kansas. Maybe to Missouri, depending on what part of Nebraska, but maybe over to Colorado. But above you, what you got? South Dakota, North Dakota, there's nothing going on. So obviously local, you're going to have to start thinking regional. And then after that, you might be LTR. And if that's not made for you, then the cargo van business might not be for you. I'm just going, we gonna talk tonight. All filters, gloves off, because I know y'all see we put up the numbers because I want you to see the possibilities, but we never really go into, is it possible for everybody? It's not possible for everybody. Depending on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to stay local, and like like we were just saying about Texas, if you stay in Texas and you stay between, like, say, Odessa, and you say, I just want to be local. Well, if you stay in Odessa and Midland, it's going to take 5 hours to get to Dallas, 4 hours to get to El Paso, and it's going to take you like 2 hours to get up to like Lubbock or something like that. obviously local is not going to work for you. It's going to feel like you're going to be OTR just getting to Dallas and El Paso. Like, see what I'm saying, fam? You got to take them things into consideration. We're going to keep talking about it. We're going to get by the end of the night. We're going to know if the cargo van is worth it for some of y'all, because I ain't trying to give you no false hopes and no dreams. I want y'all to know it. Let's see. Okay, they talking in here about I gotta put it. Jay say Pretty Fly gonna say he drove a route a couple of weeks ago. 5 hours later, he was still in Texas. They say everything big in Texas. I guess it's true. What's going on, JCM Operate? They in the building, man. That's fam. I can't with y'all, man. Jay talking about I drove. And the reason I'm putting him up like this, fam, is because we found out that after the live is over with, that the comments you got to be watching them populate as you do. And if not, you just won't see it. So we're going to start. We made a decision as a collective in the fam that we're going to, as we talk about it, we're going to put the comments up so y'all know what I'm talking about, because y'all think I'm just over here talking to myself going crazy. Jay said, I drove a load from Dallas to DC last week. Now dead home to dead. Did you deadhead from Phoenix, Jay? Hold on. You deadheaded from Dallas. You went from Dallas to DC. Are you deadheading from DC to Phoenix over the weekend? Is that what you're doing? I want to make sure I'm understanding. Just let us know in that chat if that's what you did. Ooh. Just bet on yourself. I'm trying to tell you, that's you'll be surprised. I want everybody to bet on themselves, but the reason we talk about so much stuff, because let's be honest, I'm guilty of it too. Some of us can get a little bit delulu. We get our mindset on something, it can be the worst thing in the world, but we get delulu. So I'm about betting on yourself, but we're going to make sure we have all the information. That's why we all over here chit-chatting in this chat, fam. So make sure we not delulu on our own. Let's be delulu together. Okay. Money. Hey, I told you, Money told me, he hit me up on IG a while back. I told everybody in the fam, like, hey, YouTube is where it's at. IG, if I try to keep up with IG, TikTok, all the emails, because it be not just when you think IG and TikTok, think the comments, but also think the DMs too, and then the email. Boy, I would never leave the house. I would sit there and be talking all day. One day that's going to come when we hang these old keys up and I just sit down and talk about it. But this is the best place. And Money Leader, hit up the one-on-one. It's in the description of even the live and the videos. I made sure I checked today. It's in there where you can go click the link and set up the one-on-one for anybody that want to do it. Because, man, we had some good ones today, as always. What's going on? Navi's in the building. What's going on? How that weather down in San Antonio? You ain't down there right now, fam. Let's see. Make sure I ain't nobody before I jump off tires. Nobody, everybody talking to themselves. I like it. So look, we got somebody that's co-signing what I'm saying. Jeffrey say he's from Miami. You got to go up to Orlando, Tampa, Jacksonville, because if you sit around waiting in Miami, fam, I'm just saying it's one of them locations. Something might come out, or you might have to take it for dirt cheap. I don't advise that, but if you just don't want to do it, depending on your CPM like me, see, I might, if I'm in Miami, if I just got to get out of there and I'm going up, say, give me something for 75, 80 cents, that might get me a little bit closer up the money, because, Orlando or something, I might run it up there just so I'm not driving for nothing. But that's about as far as that goes. That's it for me. Let's see. Freddie Gordon says, how often are you on the road a week? That depends on how I feel. I'm not even finna lie to you. Family here to tell you. I can get it in me and I can go out a week or two, might go out just a couple days. There's been times I had stuff to do. I might leave out on a Monday and be back on a Thursday. I might spend the week staying local, or I might stay regional. But you gotta understand, like we just had all this talking about Texas, local for me ain't the same as some other people. For example, you'll think local is in Texas. I just told you, from Houston to El Paso, that's the whole day. That's like 12 hours almost. Whereas if I drive from Houston to Georgia, Atlanta, that's 12 hours. See how crazy that sounds? Houston to El Paso is 12. Houston, Texas to Atlanta, Georgia is 12. That means I'm going to go through Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and I'll still be in Texas. So local is different. So when I'm looking at local, I'm looking at the triangle like Houston, San Antonio, Austin, Dallas. But since I'm so close to Louisiana, I even throw in there like the New Orleans, because New Orleans is like 5 hours from Houston. So it all depends. I can run down to one of them and come right back. Like literally to go from Houston to, I can go from Houston and get to New Orleans faster than I can leave Houston and get to Laredo. And Laredo's in Texas. So yeah, it all depends on your situation. That's why you got to understand if it's really worth it to you, because it's also your market. Because if you're in a market that is not got a lot of loads and you always constantly have to leave, and that means you're going to be gone because your regional might be 600-700 miles away. It might be on the road for 800 to 1,000 miles, getting you out there OTR and all the way. It might not be worth it in your mind. Some of us, like say, for example, Just True, one of the fam, she in here. She out there in Atlanta, run laps around Atlanta in a cargo van. You can run all around, not have to go nowhere. Atlanta, you can stay Atlanta to North Carolina, South Carolina, Kentucky, Tennessee, and you still in a couple of 100 miles, and you can be making that money. So that's what I say, you got to adjust it. I told you the different places that's in your circle that might be considered. I know what they say is local, is your state and the little area, and I know regional is the states around. Like for me, it'll be Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana. I know the regional, and then that load board even breaks down the regions for you. But depending on where you stay, local and regional looks totally different. Like OTR, Texas is OTR. We just said that. Going from El Paso to Houston is OTR. So the local and regional looks different. And OTR, depending on where you stay at, and it also drives the freight because, like I said, somebody that stays in Florida, the rates are so bad that you have to find a way to get up out of there. That now is it going to be worth it for you versus somebody like I said, I'm from Houston. I can go Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, Austin, and never leave those. And depending on the day, if I can do 300 to 500 in a day for one load, and if I get 2 loads, I can do 500 to 750. We've showed proof on that on previous videos, but it all depends if that makes it worth it for you. Because for some places, it wouldn't be worth it. Like, for example, me, if I wanted to stay local in Nevada, and I'm from Nevada, only thing that really comes out of Nevada is normally down there by Vegas for the most part. It's a couple of other spots, but not enough volume to keep you in Nevada. So it all depends what you want. Because like Atlanta, I said Atlanta, Los Angeles, another one. You can run all around Los Angeles if you just want to stay local. And we're talking about cargo van specific. Just want to put that out there. I forgot to add that disclaimer. I'm talking about cargo van. Box truck, you can run around in your city, state, whatever you want to do because there's more volume for them as well. But for us as cargo vans, because you got to think, we're trying to get loads that are for them and loads that are directly for us. So that's another thing you have to consider if it's worth it for you. Let's see what else make it. Boy, y'all talking fast in here tonight. What is y'all in here having a conversation? All right, so now I want to know. Jeffrey, you say you're in a bad market. Tell us where that market is. I want to know where it's at. Maybe you said it and I ain't got down to it. Let's see. What else? What else y'all going? Let's see. Aaron talking about true. Let's see. Okay. We're going to hit on this again. Know your COL, cost of living. That's your personal expenses, new fam. Then figure out your CPM, cost per mile. If you don't know, fam, what I'm talking about, we gave the formulas. We put the formulas up in the community photos, and then we talked about it in different videos as well. Once those numbers are known, you can figure out what you need at the end of the week. The week's profit is what you're working with. That's just about as simple. So I'll give you an example. If your CPM, say 35 cents, and your cost of living, let's go with 35 cents again. Obviously, bottom line is you better not run under 70 cents. That's why I harp so much on knowing both, as we just were saying. You need to know both because that's what turns you into driving free freight. Don't just stick with CPM. Most people only talk CPM. For most of us, you gotta live off the money for that we're making as well. You need to factor in both. So if your cost of living and your CPM comes out to be 70 cents, that means no matter what you do, you bet not take a load less than 70 cents, or you're cutting some finances somewhere. You're either going to be taken away from your personal life or you're going to be taken away from your business. And that goes back in again. Is it worth it for you to be in this business? Because let's be honest, If it was left up to me, I would be in the NBA. But you see how that works? That's not my business. I can't just say, I'll be like, you know what? I'm going to be a doctor. You just can't do that. So this might be one of them business. You could wake up and say, I see everybody doing great things. I'm going to go get in the transportation and drive a cargo van. If the numbers aren't working for you, then you might not can be in this business. It's a hard truth that I'm not going to sugarcoat it and make it seem like it's all gravy over here. Everybody that wants to join, you come, we all come together and make this money. It ain't going to work for everybody, fam. I'm not finna give you, we can't all be in Delulu. I be in there sometimes by myself, but we can't all be in Delulu. It ain't going to work for everybody. But I will caveat on that. There are ways to make it work. I'm not just going to kill your hopes and dreams. It's like anything in life. If you say you need 35 cents because your cost of living and you just really want to be in this game, you might need to adjust some of your cost of living. Are you living above your means? Are you living in a 4-bedroom house and you only need a 2? It's just you by yourself. No wife, no kids, no husband, no spouse. It's just you and you got a 4-bedroom house. You're using 2 of the rooms for your closet. You see what I'm saying? If you're sitting here and you say you want to get in the game and you're just starting out, but you got a BMW outside, well, you're not going to be driving that BMW much, fam, if you plan on being in the game, because you're going to always be in the vehicle. Do you want to sacrifice it, or do you want to keep that 9 to 5 or start another entrepreneur business that lets you stay with your cost of living? I'm not knocking nobody. Do what you want. I just don't want you to get the false pretense that you just see people out here. You can make $2,500 a week in a cargo van. It is possible. Can everybody do it? No, it's not possible for every single. If we all could make $2,500 a week in a cargo van, nobody would have regular jobs. We would all have cargo vans because everybody would make 10 bands a month. Who don't want to make 120 bands a year? See what I'm saying? So it's not cost effective for everybody. And you got to be, we ain't even got to the other part about if you could drive and do all that stuff. We'll get to that in a minute. But how do you find out your CPM? I don't have the chart ready available. Remember, I just told you it's in the if you go in our community posts on this page, go on the community post, and it's a video we got about how to find your CPM. We break it down in there with examples, and then the community post actually has the formula for it. So you'll find it in there, fam. Navi telling me that San Antonio been humid. I'll let y'all see. I ain't gonna just read it. Y'all can see it too. Been running the surrounding, pulling the lawn. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. So what Navi's talking about with the vids, I tell everybody, I don't care what your business is. It can be picking flowers. I don't care. Your business can go outside and you can vacuum the front grass. I don't care. Your video can go outside and skip rocks across the lake. If that's what you want your business, record yourself. Somebody wants to see you. Market yourself. I told you. The reason I say that is because I know we were playing like that, but so one of the things, me and my wife, I swear, we be punching ourselves so much. I think she beat herself up more than I do. But we didn't get enough footage like of the daycare stuff. We got pictures. She made a bunch of clips when she was working in the daycare, but we got clips where, your local handyman and the boys, we was out there building ramps. We was building enclosures on playgrounds. We were the local lawn man in there fixing tiles in the roof and being Mr. Plumber, Mr. Handyman, me and the boys. I'm not gonna lie, more meat in the boys. Boy, it was like pulling teeth trying to get them to cut that grass sometime. But that's what we had to do. Out there laying rocks out. We didn't get enough video of that stuff from start to finish. But we have clips, and I could just imagine if we would have had that, because it's a lot of people need to know or want to know how to do that type of stuff. So, guys, I already told you about the Morning Star, I think it's called, quilt company in Missouri, and what they did and how that family grew their channel just off the mom quilting. Record it, because somebody out there needs to know and understand how you built that business you're building. If it's outside of transportation, no matter what it is, record what you're doing. It could be lawn care. Do you know it's people on YouTube? You just watch them. They just go around and clean up and cut grass for lots that are overgrown. I know I watch them. Me and the wife watch it all the time. It's soothing watching somebody cut the grass. I don't know why. I just like it. But yeah, record everything, fam. Put yourself out there. Besides, you might get extra income from YouTube. Now this is what, because I asked Jake, I asked him to tell me. Now, granted, I want everybody to understand. I keep saying this and I'm cracking jokes. Where did it go? I just lost it that doggone fast. Anyway, woke up in Meridian, Mississippi. I was right there by you the other day and just want to make it to Abilene and get to Phoenix with a load would be nice, but not waiting. I'm not mad because you said Abilene. Remember, we just talked about locations. There's stuff that comes out of Abilene, but the abundance, I got faith and I believe in you, fam. I want you to get a load. But I can't just sit here and lie to you like a lot of stuff just comes out of Abilene. But for you, hopefully tomorrow I do. But if you slow down, I don't know. No, you say you already passed Dallas. Darn it. I would have told you to hold up in Dallas and you would have had a little bit more time. But hey, whatever. Keep rolling, fam. Just be safe out there in what you're doing. Let's see. Where did we leave off at? Because we're going to get through this today. Oh, there we go. There we go. Let's go. Got that off. The quicks telling you to get them videos up, Navi. The reason I say that, because believe it or not, I told y'all to go to the Quicks channel. Go to their channel. And Navi, you need to go on and drop your channel link in there too, because we want to go watch your video as well and watch you keep going. Okay, we show love over here because I'm happy for everybody. Even if it ain't a Friday drop off Monday, Saturday pick up, drop off Monday, Sunday pick up, drop off. Anything that pick up, drop off is a win, and I love it. Got that ATL airport and dropping off at VA in the morning. How many miles? What part of VA? You got to go by what? 400 miles, 400 miles? How far you got to go? Don't let me know, True. How far you got to go? Okay. Let's talk about this. Oh, where'd it go? I heard that the regional is 500-mile radius, give or take. I've heard that too. But the reason I was saying that because when you look at like if you Google it or look at the lower board, they try to do regional by state. And that obviously doesn't work for every single body because then it's not, so for, like I told you, Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Arkansas, they say that's regional. But depending on which way the 500 miles go, I can be in Louisiana. I can possibly in Texas. I would barely Arkansas because to get out of Texas into Arkansas, if you're down, that's why I said depending on where you're at. If you're in Laredo, 500 miles ain't gonna get you many places. If you're in El Paso, 500 miles, because remember they consider Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana. That on the board, and when you Google it, 500 miles is better going the other way into New Mexico and Arizona. So I'm saying like it all depends on how you look at it, and I want people to start thinking about that. Don't stick to the logic of what they put out there, saying it based off your state and the state grouping that they say for regional, because that's what they do on like the low board, or if you Google like what regions are Texas and it'll tell you different states. That doesn't necessarily sit well or true with other places, because if you're in the top of that panhandle, your region turns into Kansas. Not Oklahoma and Arkansas and Louisiana. Louisiana's farthest away from your mind. You'll be like, I can get to Kansas. I can get to Missouri. So it wouldn't even be Louisiana. So keep that in mind, fam. Keep that. All of y'all keep that in mind. That's what I want y'all to think about. Let's see. Okay. Let's talk about it. The contractor guy. Now, you know we talked up. Did you change your name? I thought your name said something else. I think you're trying to trick me, but all right. Will you be running other vans under your company in the near future? I don't know. I told you, I go with the win. Whatever God says, do for the family. And best believe, like I tell you with the loads, whenever God directs me somewhere, y'all going to be the first one to know. I'm not going to Indy. I'm not putting no number out there. I'm not finna go to LinkedIn and say, we looking for some drivers that want to work with us. No. I probably won't even say it out loud on YouTube. It'd probably be something like this in the live, or I know what I'm going to do. If that is to happen, I'm not even finna lie to you. Because I keep it 100. I keep it transparent. I don't have mine. Just pop the If anything ever happens, the first person that's getting the email, because I have their emails, will be the ones that already booked the one-on-ones. I'm not knocking y'all. I'm still going to tell y'all. It's just my mind has said business, email marketing. Email marketing, that's the first thing, because I don't know all y'all information to just be like, hey, email me. I don't know y'all email. So obviously the first people that come to my mind is the people whose emails I already have. Not saying, now granted, it won't just be them, because obviously if you got a YouTube channel and you're making videos, I can get your email off of that. But I'm not going to broadcast it to everybody across the world because I want the fam to eat first. Y'all been rocking with us since day one. Definitely coming to tell y'all first. I just got to figure out how I'm going to tell it. I don't know why the email thing just popped in my head. Oh, wow. This is a loaded question. So which state has the best local rates? To be honest, this is a toss-up because, again, it's about how you see local. The reason I say that, keep with me. No, right? Kansas City is in Kansas and Missouri, so I can't go off a state. Then I can say Texas, but Texas has a triangle. Then I can say Atlanta, because Atlanta has great rates, but Atlanta, because of how the size of the states, the rate might not keep you in Atlanta. It might take you to North Carolina, South Carolina, because they're really like 200, 300 miles away, the same distance from Houston to Texas. I can tell you which ones I'm not going to. Like the obvious ones, like obviously no California for me, because it doesn't do good. And the reason being, because California, you can fill up your tank of gas, $90. For $90 in gas, I can literally leave Atlanta and drive back to Houston for $90 to $100 worth of gas. I won't go to Florida. If I do go to Florida, it'd be I-10, the top part. I'll stop through Jacksonville, possibly Orlando and Tampa if they got a good load going in, but I'm not going below that. No. Other reason I said that, because if you look at the map, you got Michigan, Indiana, Ohio right there. You can get great loads right over there. You could be in PA and you can drive 100 and some miles and be over in New Jersey. So it really ain't based off of state. If I just had to say, I would stick between, and I'm giving them all because it's not just one: Georgia, Texas, Ohio, Michigan, and then it's a toss-up between Illinois and Missouri. Off the top of my head, that's what I'm gonna go with. Everybody definitely can get $2,500 a week. I agree. And there's a reason I agree. That's what I was trying to say when I said everybody, but that also depends. Don't take it the wrong way. It depends on how you run. Everybody doesn't have it in them to just run like that and then be in the right location to get it. Because every single day you're not going to make money, if that makes sense. So you would need to get $2,500 a week. You need $500 a day, or get you a good load that's $750 to $1,000. You see what I'm saying? Like, and depend on the location. And if you don't want to go OTR, like for example, I told you I can run a triangle in Texas, but that'll get you $300 to $500 a day. So if I get a $300 load and I only get it for 5 days a week, obviously that's $1,500. I have to find that other money some type of way. It's not gonna, and I'm not here to sugarcoat and lie. Y'all seen your boy out here running. Unless you got some direct stuff, if you're just depending on, like, let's say gig apps and a load board, you're gonna have to hustle a little harder, but it won't be a consistent. You're gonna get $2,500 every single week, unless you're in that type of market. This all goes, so you got to consider that. It all depends on all those type of things. Y'all have me lying. And so he's referring to the traffic, and I'm gonna let you know right now, because most of us that been a lot of places, I'll let you know right now that traffic's nothing. It really is. Go when you got to drive in LA. I thought Texas had some bad traffic through LA. I haven't been through New York traffic. When I was in New York, I was on the bus with the basketball team, so I haven't personally driven it. Just the places I personally driven around the United States, LA, nah. Drive you bonkers. See, I agree. They're not telling you the road to make that 2,500 because it takes months and sometimes years. I can't speak for everybody. I can only go off of myself. I can't, and this is me. I'm a person like everybody else. The reason I share so much with y'all is because I'm a person that needs receipts. You just can't tell me nothing and don't show me. I don't mean like I can type up anything on a piece of paper and say, this is what I did. You got to show me. I'm sorry. I'm not from the show me state, but I'm from the show me. Just leave it at that. So when I'm driving, if you watch the videos, I never know if y'all paid attention. I purposely, because I know how I like to see things and view things, so I purposely try to show what I think I would like to see as proof. So if you ever notice when I like show the road and driving, I make sure it's a sign on the side of the road or something at the top that be like passing through here or passing by here, or you just entered this state. Because I told y'all where I'm going. Now y'all need to see it. But then I had to start showing it more often because it can be like, hey, you passed through Alabama. Yeah, whatever. How we know you didn't reuse it? That's why sometimes Alabama's during the daytime. Sometimes it's nighttime. Sometimes I wait till a certain car is passing me as I go through it. If you see a car pass me, sometimes I'm slowing down just so you can see the car pass to know that it's real time. Because I want y'all to have the receipts to know that the numbers we're putting up, you can verify them, if that makes sense. Only thing I haven't showed y'all is actual rate con because I don't feel like blacking out all that information. At some point, you just got to believe something I'm saying. If not, I ain't mad at you. But that's just why I do it, because people tell us stuff, and it's hard for me to believe if you're saying, and I'm not saying that they're lying, because I never call nobody a lie, because it's not, we don't even know each other well enough for me to call you a liar. I don't even know you at all to call you a liar. I'm just saying that for the amount of people that put stuff out into the world, every single body cannot be saying they're doing the exact same thing, no matter what it is. I've seen the videos. Y'all seen them. Some videos, some channels, however you want to put it. They'll have the jobs that, and I don't think they're telling us this to say that they're doing it. I think they're just providing the information. But you can go to some channels and they'll say you can do this job as this type of, I don't know, work from home job and make $10,000 a month. And then 2 days later, they'll say you can be a digital marketer and make $5,000 a week. And then 3 days later, they'll say you can start an Etsy store. And we know they're not doing all those jobs. They're just combining the information on their channel and sharing it to others. But where's the receipts? That's what makes it hard. So yes, you can do it depending on the type of running you're doing, but sometimes it takes years. Sometimes it takes knowledge. You just gotta figure out what path works best for you. That's why this whole thing has been about, is the cargo van game worth it? Because for some of us, depending on where you live at, if you want to stay local, regional, OTR, and you don't have contracts, say you're just working off the spot market, load boards, mixing in gig apps, is it a possibility? Yes. What type of work, what type of hours you would put in, that depends on you as the type of worker you are. But that all depends. Or do you have to get out there and go OTR and get those 2 to 3 loads a week that'll make it equal 2,500? It all depends. It all depends. True just told me from ATL to VA, 518 miles. Appreciate that. I like this. Anything over 2,500 a week is all strategic. And that's what we've been doing this whole time. I don't know. I know fam is talking to new people that might be new fam that's joining us. It's all strategic. And all I've been doing, I remember the videos, I'll be your test dummy. I'm basically finding out the place. That's how I know, like, BG has no reason to go back to California unless the wife or something is in the van and says, I want to go to Cali. Let's take a load to Cali. That's about the only way. Other than that, I have no reason to take a load back out there. I got what I need, the information. I passed it on to y'all, now on to the rest. Now, don't be sitting there waiting on me to go to Oregon and Maine and all that stuff. I'm telling you not. Your boy ain't going up there unless for some reason, every time I say that, God be like, you're going to Oregon. I don't plan on it. I don't have a need to, let's put it like that. Unless he feels I have to go up there. Yes. They got a lot of loads in Miami. But they just not. I won't even say they don't pay well. We know they don't pay well. They're not for us. That ain't what we pushing over here. I'm not pushing you to go out there and take no load for 30, 40 cents. We already know that. Not happening. I like that. Luxury Trail did 1,800 last week off Curry. Good start. And that is amazing. And I've been saying it. I told you, mix up the gig apps if you got to. If you just want to do gig apps, no problem. If you want to go OTR regional local, no problem. I was mainly talking, and I don't want nobody to get it confused. I'm not saying it's not possible. I want you to understand that depending on the avenue you take and depending on what you try to do, don't go into the mindset of the business, because I don't want no false thinking on y'all. Don't go in the mindset of thinking I'm finna make 2,500 every single week, unless you got some contract or some hookup or something like that. But starting out, don't just walk in the door like I'm finna make 2,500 every week. That's you saying I'm finna make 120 bands a year. I'll even say 100 bands a year, so that way we can take a couple weeks off because you want to take breaks and stuff. It's consistent, but not consistent. Now, if you would have told me in the cargo van you want to make 1,500 a week, that's very much doable, even if it's just gig apps, because that's $300 a day. We're talking gross now. We're not talking about take home after everything. We're talking about gross. So keep that in mind. Look, we got one for me to make. I love your name. That's crazy. For me to make 2,500 a week constantly, I have to work OTR with Selectus and Fox Carriers. See, you got to mix stuff in. It's nothing wrong. It's not that it can't be done. It's just what type of worker you would. I'm not gonna lie to you because I've done it. Are you ready to put in them 50 to 70 hours weeks, maybe even 80? Because that type of driving, you're gonna be required to go by 10 to 15 a day minimum. It ain't just gonna be finna have a 6-hour work day, 7-hour work day every single day, and I'm finna make 1,200 a day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be reasonable. So just think, remember I told you 3 hours for every 200 miles. To get to 2,500 a week, and we said 5 hours, even if I just said $1 a mile, that's 500 miles. That means you 500 miles a day at $1 a mile. That means you would be doing 7 to 8 hours worth of driving a day. And that means you have to do that every single day, Monday through Friday, for weeks and weeks and weeks. And that's not how the game goes. It doesn't go that. Some days you're going to have a 300 mile load. Some days a 450 mile load. Some days you're going to get the 700 mile load. We talked about the Friday drop off Monday. That's when we want to knock out the 1,000 mile load. It just all depends, because I still want you got to sleep sometime. Let's see. I'm not even finna lie to you. Jay Garza. You're a G-list celebrity too. I love it. I live in San Antonio, bro. Want to buy a van and do OTR, but want to make 100K minimum. What's the best advice? I'm finna keep it as honest as possible. Keep watching this channel, because that's what we're doing. That is literally what we're doing. If you haven't already, go back and watch you don't even, I suggest you go back to the first cargo van video, but if you don't want to go back that far, go back to the first video we dropped for this year. I forgot what the name of it was, but beginning of the year, because we're on a 100K journey this year, and this year is showing we're going to do it together, how to make 100K, and then after that, YouTube world will have it, and everybody can see what we did, how we did, explained how we did, learn the business on the way to get the 100K. I can't give you a definite answer, because again, everybody does stuff different, but I'm showing you how I'm doing it, and I hope it helps take the nuggets away that you need. If you don't need it, what they say, if it don't apply, let it fly. I'm just going to show you what I'm doing, because that's the only way I know how to do it. So I can't give you every single step, because I ain't went through all the steps. I only know the business part, and I haven't translated everything over into transportation. So I do it as I come up, and then I tell y'all what I learned or picked up along the way. Let's see. Can you speak on how you pay yourself and the different ways of paying yourself? So what I do is, in order to learn how to pay others, because my wife does such an amazing job. I'm not just holding the family down, but while I'm gone, but also with videos and all that. So in order for me to learn how as the business grow to start paying others, I pay her 10% every load. That's the way I do it. So it gets my mindset and my habits, because I talked about habit stacking in other videos. After the CPM, and that's that COL part, the cost of living. So we've had different, if I had to pay myself, it would be on a weekly basis. So after every load, obviously you got business expenses. After every load, I would have my CPM and all that stuff broken down to where I know what needs to go into what pot, because I have a pot for maintenance. I have a pot for gas, then business and all that. So obviously as the loads come in, I will let them all go into one pot. I would still be having the gas money that I'm working off of and everything. And then at the end of the week, like on the weekend or something, I would transfer the different money to different pots. Obviously, if my CPM, say, go back to 35 cents, I would know how that's broken down. And I'll give you an example. So say, since we on 2,500, if we're on 2,500 for the week, if I broke that down, obviously 1,250 is half of 2,500, so that's 50%. And then you do another 30. I'm doing these numbers raw off my head, so don't quote and hold me to it. So 1,250 is 50%. So obviously half of 1,250. So roughly it'll be around $900 or so. That'll make up your 35%. That automatically, that goes to the bills. So just to turn the van on. So I would divvy up what needs to go to the insurance, what needs to go to the van note, what needs to go to my gas pot, what needs to go to my maintenance pot. I would divvy that $900 up. Of course, I would pay a little bit more. This is just me per se, because that's just to turn the van on. Then after that, if I got to do my COL, say I got another 35%, because that's what we've been sticking with, I would take the other 900 and I would put that into my personal pot. So that leaves us, we're at 1,800 now, so that leaves 700. This is the part where I told you with the 700 that you got to figure out how you want to do it, because you still got to save your personal life and save for your business life. Out of that 700, I probably would break it into like half. Let's just say half for the sake of this video. So that's 350, 350. 350 would automatically go to the business side and leave that in the business account. The other 350, I'll put into my personal savings account or high yield savings account, whatever you use to save your money. So that way you can start saving in the business and saving in your personal life. I would do it that way. Another way, I've seen somebody say they do what was it? I think it was a 40, 20, 20, 20 split, like 40% to the business, 20% to their personal, and 20% to each saving. There's multiple ways to do it. You have to figure out what works best for you. Those are just some examples. I'm pretty sure as I'm answering this question, I know how the fan work. Y'all already probably talked about it in the chat and put it. Yep. Let's see. I'm finna try and pull it up, because if you look, okay, we're gonna put up 2. Let's do this one first. I've created this formula. Brother Neil's done this before. I got some of these information. Create a formula to create a base bidding rate. He's talking about for bidding. I'm gonna leave that up there for a second for how he bids on it. Because remember, we're talking about everything, but this is for the bidding. Leave that up there for y'all. Y'all got that? Y'all got that screenshot? It saved it? Okay. And then he gave you an example. He broke it down into an example. Leave that up there, because these are some good. Hey, I'm telling you, there's multiple ways to skin the cat. Don't just stick to what I'm saying. It's multiple ways. Brother Neil is giving you how he does it, and I'm not mad at it. That's good formula. So did y'all get that? Y'all got it? All right. Where did I leave off it? Come on over here. You said good luck with that, but it's good to be optimistic. I don't think so. I think making 100K in the van is more easier said than done, depending on what you're trying to do. Again, I don't think I'm not finna lie to you. Unless you got that contractor work, and depending on your market rate, I think it'll be a little bit harder doing it local. But going OTR, I don't think so. I turn down loads all the time just because there's certain places like I said, I don't feel like going anymore. But it's nothing. Let's put it this way. If you don't think it's possible right now, and remember, we took off work, and everybody's situation is not like mine. We took off work for what? 2 retirements? 3 retirements, anniversary, birthdays. And then the first 2 weeks of the month, we didn't even go nowhere because of the weather. And to do what is it? $8,000 a month put you at $96,000 for the year. So, just need a little bit more, couple $100 more per month. Right now, with the way we're working and with all the time we've taken out, we're right now sitting at about $8,300, $8,400 a month. It is possible. And granted, y'all know how much I'll be at the house. It's possible. It's just you got to look at it from a different lens. Don't stick to the lens that you hear so much on YouTube. I know people have it hard. I know people talking. And remember, this is not right now. We're not talking about take home. We're talking about just getting the business to 100K. I'm we're gonna talk about how to get the 100K in your pocket after we get the business to 100K. But I don't want you to think that you have to be optimistic. It's more easier said than done, depending on how you're built. Everybody, and I'm not knocking nobody. I don't want nobody to take this the long way. Everybody can't just hop in the van and drive for 14, 15 hours. Everybody, and I don't want you to. I want you to stay safe. Everybody doesn't have good negotiating skills. I'm not the best, but I think I can hold my own. Everybody can't negotiate that. Like if you're starting out the first year when you're waiting on, because I got blessed, I got fam in the game. When you got to wait on that MC to mature, everybody doesn't get it that first year. But after you're able to do stuff on your own, you got a good team behind you. A lot of things are more possible than not. It's just like, again, I told you, I can stay in Texas. It'll be a little harder. Remember, I told you harder. I can do 300 to 500 a day, Monday through Friday. You only need what, 276, I think it is, a day. If I'm doing 300, 350 a day, maybe even 400 here and there, that Monday through Friday, of course, it's going to require work. You got to be ready to put it in. But if you're not ready to put it in, then no, it's not going to happen. You're going to be optimistic. But if you're ready to put the work in, it's not that hard and you're not gone as much as you want. If you're local, obviously, you're going to have to run more days. If you go OTR, you might get a couple of days off at the house. You see me, I've taken 3 days to a week off and sat around. So it is possible. Navi says you think it's possible to net 500 to 650 running the areas you mentioned daily with OTR. To net or gross? Gross, yes. Net, not. I won't say it's necessarily daily because there's so many factors that's in there. Because for one, let's just stick with the numbers. If we're going off $1 a mile, $500 to $650 to net it. To go 500 miles is roughly a tank and a half of gas. To go 700, let's say 750 miles, you're going to need about 2 tanks of gas. So to do those two, because that's netting, because it's going to take you $100 in gas for each. But that's just the gas. And remember, I told you that's not how we talked about it last live, I think we did. We talked about it. That's not how the CPM works. So when you pull your money from the CPM, it might look like you're close to that net, but you got to think you're not factoring in all other stuff, like your personal costs and all that. But after you take out the van stuff, it's possible, but you would have to be running around 6 to 750 minimum miles a day in order if you're running at $1 a mile. If you get over $1 a mile, yes, but I'm not going to say that that's going to be an everyday occurrence that you get over $1 a mile. But if you're sticking with the $1 a mile formula, you would have to be at 6 to 750 a day. If you're doing OTR for boards and all that stuff and dispatchers and all that, obviously with the dispatcher, they have to be more because you got to pay them. But if you're doing it off the boards, now if you got a contract or something like that, then yes, because contract pays more than the spot rate. The spot rate is the $1 a mile. Contracts, it'll be more like $1.25, $1.35, $1.50. You see what I'm saying? It goes up because you're doing contract work. But I'm glad that y'all asking these questions because these are the questions that you have to consider when you want to know, is it worth it for me to go get in this cargo van game? Oh, you kill me. Hey, it's only one Buc-ee's on our I know exactly which one you're talking about. Oh man. Did you talk? Hold on, but it's more than one. Hold on, you came down across, so you missed the other one. It's one in over in Georgia, but it's also the one that you're talking about that's in Dallas, right outside of Dallas. I know you're talking about. What's going on? Rich joins in the building. The contractor guy said Oregon is cool, which I believe you. It just ain't cool for me because that's too. If I just want to, y'all know me. I'm like Forrest Gump. Sometimes I'll be like how he was when he was running. I was running, but then it's like I was driving, and it's like, all right, I'm done. Whenever I get tired or don't want to, I need to relax. I go home. That's just me. Let's see. Hold on. I almost skipped this. When we do videos on making that's what we are. That's what the customers want. It's more formula than I want everybody to get hung up on one thing. It's more than one formula to do this thing. Hold on. So sometimes this is true. The cargo van don't be by the space. When a broker gives you a load, they're paying you for the whole van. Usually they don't expect you to put another load in. Sometimes that's true. And normally the times that I've come across them, I can't speak for everybody else. When I come across them, they actually tell me like, hey, I need you to be dedicated. I need you to go and get my stuff there. And then we might talk a little bit about the numbers to get a little bit more money. But other than that, because they said on the load board, remember. A lot of loads when I'm negotiating, they're loads that were on there as partials that they thought they were going to put on a dry van or a box truck. And when I'm negotiating, I'm letting them know, like, hey, if I pick it up today, it's going 700 miles, 800 miles, I have it there tomorrow. Because technically by the books and the clock, a box truck and a dry van can't drive 800 miles in a lot of hours. According to their clocks. Y'all take they can't do that. If they really pushing it, it's about 6. According to how they can do it, the clock. Remember, I told you 369 for every 200 miles. Plus, they got to factor in, they got to take breaks. They got to do all this other stuff while they're on the clock. So, yeah, it's pushing it for them. So, for the most part, when they say they want a Sprinter van directly, those are the times they like, hey, my stuff is going in here and I'm expecting you to take it. You're not picking nothing else up. But if you're doing negotiating for one of those other ones and you're getting something out of them, most of the time they're not expecting that load to get there except every 2 to 3, 4 days, depending on what they thought they were going to send it with. And you'll know all that when you talk to them. Okay. This movie is talking about the locations, and I told you not Florida. Well, apparently I've been up and down the 95 corridor, but I haven't stayed over there long enough to do the rates. I just know what they are when I'm getting stuff, because y'all seen when I got the stuff out of Carolinas and all that stuff in Georgia's. But apparently from that Connecticut all the way down to Georgia, it's consistent. Get you your work. Just letting you know, we out here. I love this. Get it out there. Telling y'all now, make sure you got the maintenance set aside. I told y'all my AC compressor locked up in the middle of Indiana, heading for home from Michigan. And you do not need that, not in that van. We need the AC, baby. We need the AC. So make sure y'all keep that maintenance. You know, that's one of them things. Got to consider when you're getting in here. Like I say it all the time, don't ball out on the cargo van bunny yet, because we still building up our pots. We're building up our pots because give you a heads up, part of that putting 100K in your pocket is you got to get these pots built to a certain level. So once we build them to a certain level, then we'll talk about the formula for putting the money in your pocket and still putting money in the pots. We ain't just going to get them there and stop. We're going to put more, but it's another formula that I'm going to give y'all about how you get the 100K in your pocket. Hold on. There you go. $1,500 a week to pay $1,000 insurance. Yes and no, because everybody's insurance isn't $1,000. It all depends on so many stuff. Your driving history, all that kind of stuff. Like I've run across people that have the $1 million insurance with $100,000, and they only paying like $500-$600. Because remember, insurance is based off of where you live it. Like they'll ask you, and I hope people tell them the truth, but some people it's switches up. They'll ask you, how many miles do you plan on driving? Their insurance will tell you this. So, and I'm not telling y'all to do this. This is just an example. So say I live in Nebraska, South Dakota. And they're like, yeah, you doing commercial? Yeah, how many miles you going to drive? And they're like, probably no more than 350, 400. That insurance is going to be dirt cheap. It's nothing out there. It's open road. It's not big cities, a bunch of big cities. But if you live in Houston, Los Angeles, Dallas, New York, Orlando, Atlanta, and they like, you bring that up, you're in a big city. The probability of you in a commercial vehicle always driving around the city, your premiums are going to be a lot higher. So it all depends on where you live, what your driving history look like. You know what I'm saying? So I say that because, again, I'm not trying to discourage nobody. I want you to keep that all in mind. So yes, if you, and $1,000 a week also makes a big difference as well, because say you bought your van cash and your only CPM about it is the $1,000 for your insurance. You got people that pay a note and have a van note. I mean, have insurance that's lower. You have people with no van note and have higher insurance. And if they want to stay local and they want to make $1,500 a week. So if you think about it, look at it this way. If I make $6,000 a month, making 15 before anything comes out, and then I take out 1,000, obviously if you're only making 1,500 a week, you're not driving far. So you might only be spending, I'll top it off. I'll go high end, 1,000 in gas. That means you're left for $4,000 and you might not have a van note. So if your van's paid off and you only got to worry about insurance and that gas, you got $4,000. You put $500 away for any maintenance costs a month. You're left with $3,500 takeover, and you might be a solopreneur, just want to do it by yourself. And for most people, $3,500, that's pretty amazing, because that still puts you over $40,000 a year, right up there by $50,000. And some people, depending on your lifestyle, that's all you need to live. The average pay right now is barely buffering around that area, but you're your own boss. You do what you want. So it all depends. Everybody's situation is so different. That's why I love this game. That's why we talk, because I had to do it. So I want to help y'all think outside the box with me. Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to find, because these y'all up here really in here having it. See what I'm just saying? Like, said 1,000, you're lucky. See what I'm saying? Like, that's why I say the winning thing, because what you think might be high is low to somebody else, and what you might think is low is high to somebody else. All of us is so different. Let's see. Okay. How do I watch chip the bugs? Like, basically, chip windows get cleaned every time I stop for gas. Depending on the week and what the weather looks like, he normally don't get a bath to the weekend, because we be moving, and I'm not gonna lie, when I stop, I'm tired. So he normally don't get nothing to the weekend. So here we go. I got a log on insurance, and as I only paid $600 in Cali. Been driving under others, just got my authority. Would you recommend going right to the board? So my recommendation is always the same, because I feel like you have to find your niche. I tell everybody the exact same thing. I say get as many gig apps as you can. I know you can't build a business off of gig apps, so I'm not saying to stay there, but that's the supplement in case something, because when you got a new authority, you to be able to just run until you're able to do it on 100% by yourself. So then you're going to need dispatchers, and they're going to have to fill some of those gaps. I've always suggest carrier companies as well. Just don't pick an exclusive one, because then you can't use your insurance to keep your authority maturing. So couriers, dispatchers, and gig apps, until you can get that thing very matured and can do everything yourself, or find somebody else to do it from you. I need turn down load problems. No, we've talked about this before. You know this. I turn down loads for a reason. The weather might be bad. Y'all seen that? Weather crazy. I'm not going up there. I'm not going down in Miami. Because then I gotta fight to get out. Like, when I say turn down loads, I mean, like, I don't mean like I'm sitting there like, oh, you want to give me $100 to drive 800 miles to Atlanta? No, I don't think I want it. No. I turn down loads depending on where they're going. If they're going into a certain area, like y'all noticed, we went in the beginning, we was running back and forth to Colorado. We stayed in Pueblo West, but no, I wasn't going up there during all the snow, so it wasn't going. Now it's starting to ease up. I'm not going. Then there's sometimes when I seen, remember back in a couple weeks, about a month or two back, when I-40 down there and I remember the Panhandle and all that was getting beat up. Like, no, I'm not going over there. That's what I mean when I say I'll turn down the loads. Oh, man. And let's see, it's possible. I turn down at least 25 loads a day, whether pay or I don't go. Like, that's easily. Like, you know, especially that one. If you ain't even factor that one in, you don't want to give me the money. I'm not going to. Oh, that's a good one. For the bugs, spray them with curl cutter. I haven't tried it before. but we'll take it. Look at that. Who calling me? Give me just a second. Let's find out together. Hello? Guess they didn't want nothing. See, we're gonna find out together. Hey, I told you we real time over here. You see that live? We real live. See, y'all thought I was gonna switch back and be in my boxes. Y'all thought I was one of them, didn't you? Up here just live on here with a t-shirt and boxes. I got clothes on. Somebody said Edgar say his Geico is $675 a month and Progressive was $1,300. Telling you, the insurance is different for everybody, fam. This is what I'm saying. You gotta factor this in if you want to come into this game, come into this business. You got to know what works best for you. Okay. I have that truck stop and 123 load board, and I still cannot find any loads. How are you doing this? What are your settings? I had a company try to pay me $350. Whoa. So I don't know about truck stop and 123. I normally look at truck stop when they give me a load and they tracking me through truck stop. But that's you. I got the video up. Make sure you go do the filter down in that load board that I did in there, and I explained all that stuff in there, how I filtered it down. People that I get out the way, because you got to get stuff out the way so when the new loads populate, you can see them as they pop up so that you can get right on them right away, because it's about speed in this game. It's who gets to the booker first. But no, 350 to go 778 miles. No, don't ever take that. That's less than 50 cents a mile. No. They say, what kind of dispatch you recommend? I put it like this. When you get a new authority, dispatcher is going to be calling you out of works. I don't know what it is. Like they just got the magic sheet and get all the information. When you get that new authority, dispatchers are going to find you. If not, go look on. You can look them on Indeed and all that, but you want to vet all the dispatchers, make sure, because they working on your behalf. So you got to make sure it's somebody that can talk for you and that you trust. I think I may rent a Penske truck and do power only while my MC mature, because they are a bunch of loads for semis and such. I'm also losing a lot of bids with the dispatchers. See, that's what I mean. Like the dispatchers, you got to trust them to talk on your behalf. I don't know much about doing the power loads with the Penske. I just know that I watched people go do the power loads. I don't know how they're paying and what they're doing with them or how good they pay. But I see them across the load board sometimes when I'm just, learning for my own self. Let's see. I said this. Yep. Florida and California. I don't like them. You can find stuff, but they most likely keep you there. To get you out, you got to do some work. Life on the streets is in the building. And I've heard some people ask about this. I've never worked with them. They asked me. I haven't worked with any carriers or dispatchers, but they say Fox Carrier is a good one. I've heard that name. People ask me a couple, and so now, fam, y'all, Jeffrey letting y'all know they good. I haven't heard good or bad about them. So Jeffrey letting us know they good. Let's see. There's a lot of loads to California because nobody want to go there. That was the kind of loads I'm talking about. I turned down. I'm not going to Cali. I'm not going to Florida. That's just me. But man, fam, now I told y'all we got work to do tomorrow. Let's see. So did you go straight to the board when you got your cargo van? Yes, I did, because I got fam that's already in the game. Like he was already in the game doing box truck things. So I just hopped in, got to work with him. If you find somebody that's already in the game, if they'll let you work with them, then that's good. But just for me, got blessed like that. It just worked out, and he was already in it, and we trust each other, because you got to think, when you're working with somebody like that, they got to trust that you know what you're doing and can learn what you're doing and all that stuff. And you got to trust them, because guess what? The money goes through them and they give it to you. So you got to know and trust the person you're with. But yeah, that was a lot of information. And I wonder now, after hearing all that, and there's way more to it. It's way, way more to it. But that's the type of stuff you got to think about if you want to know, is the cargo van worth it for you? That's we're just scratching the surface. That's what you got to think about if it's going to be good for you. I think personally, for me, and the way I think, because I'm not going to lie, a lot of it's mindset. And believe it or not, it's not even just the mindset of how to build a business. You got to have that mindset because when you believe it or not, when you're in that van, you're going to be with yourself a lot. You're going to be you solo dolo, just you and them thoughts. And you get to make a lot of decisions and plans and business moves for the future. It's multiple ways. You want to get direct contracts, that works as well too. But you got to think about all the avenues: local, OTR, regional, direct. Want to do the load boards? You want to do gig apps? It's so many avenues. So before you just jump into one thing about is it worth it, I wanted you. That's why we talked about all this. I want you to think of all the different ways to see if it's beneficial to you, because that's going to make the difference if you should get in this game or not. That's how I had to look at it, and I want you to look at it that way as well. But I'm not gonna hold y'all, man, because I know y'all out there. We still got fam trying to drive across Texas. And I know some of y'all got that Friday load, got to drop off on Monday and get that money. And I know some of y'all like me getting a bag, picking up a bag tomorrow because we got that work in the morning. So yeah, I'm on East Coast time too. So I'm already an hour ahead of the Central. So I got to lay it down like I want y'all to lay it down. I'll make sure I clean up these last few. We got any more questions? No, life. I'm from H-Town, but I ain't in H-Town right now. I'm out here in Georgia. Yeah, I'm in a hotel room. Okay. My problem is I don't like sitting in the truck when I don't get a load from my location, and I'll just drive home. I spend a lot of money getting my van in this business. It has to work. So I told y'all, I don't sit no more than a day. If I get somewhere, depending on if I get there early in the morning, I might drop off and I go about my business. But after that, I don't sit. I'm going to go find somewhere else. I'm going to move to a better location. I'll be looking on the board and pick up a load that's going the next day somewhere. And I'll drive to that location, sit that night and pick up that morning. But I don't sit like that. And if it's the weekend, I'm definitely going home. But that's just me. I explain all that. Just keep up with the videos, fam, because I'm starting to tell y'all in the videos when I'm sitting and when I'm going. But other than that, I'm going to have to let you know now. I'm about to go because you see this bed right here? It's calling my name. I got to lay it down. I got this load in the morning. Hopefully things work out because we got two. We getting that work in the morning. So yeah, fam, go get y'all bags in the morning. If you got your bag right now, go drop it off, get some rest, then go get another bag. But either way it go, I want all of y'all to get bags all week. Let's all get bags this week because apparently we need to all hit this 2500. Let's go get it together, fam. I think we can do it. Let's go get the 2500 together. Matter of fact, let's meet back here next Sunday, and we want to see all the hands raised of everybody that got the 2500. Matter of fact, I'm going to raise it twice. I'm going to get it, and I'm going to give one other hand to somebody else because me and somebody else, let's go get the 2500 this week. Let's go do it, baby. But yeah, fam, I ain't going to hold y'all up, man. I'm finna get some rest. I want y'all to get some rest so that we can meet again. I would say to the next live, but we know that ain't gonna happen. It's gonna be tomorrow for the next load, so we can go get the bag started for the 2500 week. Let's do it. Y'all brought it up. I'm just gonna go with it. So let's do it. 2500 week or more if you can. Let's do it together. But yeah, fam, until the next video, get y'all some rest. Go get y'all bags. And as for me, I'm about to get some sleep. So until tomorrow, the next video, when y'all get it, probably Tuesday. But until then, y'all stay blessed.